A high-profile name has departed WWE, and CM Punk has debunked rumors of unhappiness in AEW. But first, could this be another reason for CM Punk's backstage heat with Hangman Page? Last week, reports broke that CM Punk went off script on AEW Dynamite in order to take a dig at the former AEW World Champion Hangman Page, calling him out for publicly disrespecting him, giving what was described as a receipt. Before his segment with Jon Moxley to open the show, Punk would call out Page for a rematch from Double or Nothing, knowing he wasn't scheduled to appear, before calling Page a coward on air, and Punk would say, "A little bit of advice that I suggest you take. The apology must be as loud and as public as the disrespect. And if anybody else has a problem with the champion, well, I suggest you come on down. Everybody wants to be the champion until it's time to do champ shit." This move is said to be in response to some of the material Hangman used in the build-up to their title match, with Punk feeling that he had referenced his broken friendship with Colt Cabana going into business for himself. On top of this, an old interview has since surfaced involving Hangman that may have contributed to Punk's feelings towards him and may be related to the bit of advice. When speaking at the GalaxyCon earlier this year, Page would be asked if he listens to the advice of veterans such as Sting and CM Punk, before saying that when he does listen to veterans, he doesn't listen hard. And he would respond, "Oh boy, I don't know, I'm stubborn. I don't take advice. It's a good question and that's probably the honest answer. I listen to people say things, but very rarely do I listen hard. I was part of the movement that created this entire company and I'm a world champion. I don't know that I need their advice. I'll certainly listen, but there is something to be said about trial and error and doing it on our own. I take more pride in that." Many fans are now wondering if this interview is the public disrespect that Punk was referring to on Dynamite, with it easy to see how he would take issue with this kind of response. It's also hard to say that it's CM Punk with the ego after Hangman thought he'd already made it and doesn't need advice from veterans in the locker room. Talents in AEW have the luxury of being surrounded by legends of pro wrestling who can provide insight to younger guys on the roster, so they don't have to do trial and error themselves. As we've seen with guys like William Regal and Bryan Danielson, who hold open training sessions before shows, there's an opportunity in AEW to learn and improve their craft with the help of those that paved the path that they're walking on, although clearly Hangman doesn't necessarily agree. Last night, WWE would hold the latest edition of Monday Night Raw live from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, a show that saw yet another Triple H-inspired return. During the show, former NXT champion Johnny Gargano would make his return to the promotion, this almost 10 months since being last seen in NXT. Gargano's WWE contract would expire on December 10th last year, following an emotional farewell to his longtime brand, with his exit influenced by the birth of his first son. Since then, Gargano has taken time off and has been linked with possible debuts in AEW and even Impact Wrestling, although new WWE head of creative Triple H clearly sees him as part of his plans for the main roster. Regarding possible moves to AEW and Impact, Fightful would report that nothing was really close to materializing, with them noting, "We haven't heard of any advanced negotiations between Gargano and All Elite Wrestling, and we're told that Impact Wrestling was never a serious consideration." AEW sources, when asked, told us they didn't believe that Gargano was going to end up coming to the company throughout this year, though he did have several people in the company pushing for him. As to reasons for returning to WWE, Gargano would speak with WWE Digital, where he revealed his motivation going forward, and he would say, "I came back for a lot of different reasons, but first of all, I wanted to be Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion, WWE Champion. I want to wrestle at WrestleMania, and there's only one place you can do that, and that's here in WWE. That's why I came back. That's why I am beyond proud to be here." Gargano now looks set to feud with the former protege of Vince McMahon, that being Austin Theory, with somebody Vince McMahon saw great potential in, set to battle with somebody that, well, he didn't see so much in. And next up is a top WWE superstar set to retire. Elsewhere on last night's Toronto edition of WWE Raw, Edge would make a hometown return, competing in the main event of the show to defeat former Judgment Day teammate Damian Priest, which was Edge's first match in the city for 12 years. After the match, the Rated R superstar would then take to the mic after the show to address the crowd in attendance, before hinting that he could retire from wrestling next time WWE come to Toronto, and he would say, 30 years ago, July 1st, 1992, I had my first wrestling match as Adam Copeland. I knew one day I'd be standing right here in front of you, I just knew it. What I didn't dream of is that I would have to retire for 9 years and fight with every fiber of my being to get this back. All of you are the reason for that. This is a reciprocal relationship. I just went toe to toe with one of the best talents in the future of this industry in Damian Priest. I just can't wait to do it more. I can't wait to hopefully come back one last time here in Toronto. I'm looking at the calendar. We usually come here in August, so next August I plan on seeing each and every one of you, and in a perfect world, we'll all say goodbye to each other that night. If Edge goes through with this retirement, this will be the second time he's stepped away from the ring, with the first time coming in April 2011 due to neck issues. He would then return to the ring 9 years later at the 2020 Royal Rumble after finally being cleared by doctors, with him working on and off since then. Next up, AEW and WWE TV shows are set to go head-to-head. Between October 2019 and April 2021, AEW's Dynamite and WWE's NXT would run alongside one another on Wednesday nights, with the ratings war ending in an emphatic victory for All Elite Wrestling. What was described as the Wednesday Night War would come to an end when NXT moved to Tuesday nights, although it looks like the battle could be reignited for one night only. In October, the schedule of the MLB playoffs is set to overlap with that of AEW Dynamite on the TBS network, and we'll see Tony Khan's marquee show moved from their Wednesday night slot. According to a recent announcement, the upcoming Cincinnati tapings of Dynamite will be taking place on Tuesday, October 18th, rather than the traditional Wednesday slot, meaning it will be going up against NXT for the night. With that said, this will be the first time AEW has gone head-to-head with WWE's developmental brand since rebranding it to NXT 2.0, with Shawn Michaels now in charge of creative. It's also worth noting that the October 2026 episode of Dynamite could also be affected if the ALC game goes to Game 7, leading to AEW having to move once again. And next, a high-profile name has departed WWE. In January 2019, it was revealed that Jeff Jarrett had rejoined WWE as a producer, before later moving to the creative team 2 months later. His role would then be terminated in July 2021, although he would once again rejoin the company, with him taking the responsibility for the company's live events as the Senior Vice President of Live Events. Last night, PW Insider would report that Double J has once again left the company, with his role coming to an end last week, and the story would note, WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett departed his position as Senior Vice President of Live Events with World Wrestling Entertainment last week. PWInsider.com has exclusively confirmed with multiple sources. The belief amongst some is he finished his official duty this past Friday, but I can't 100% confirm that timeline. Jeff's last appearance on screen came at SummerSlam, where he would act as the special guest referee for the undisputed tag team title match between the Usos and the Street Profits. This the night before his role in Ric Flair's last match at StarCast 5. His role as Senior Vice President of Live Events has now been filled by Jarrett's former tag team partner Road Dogg, following his release from NXT back in January, where he worked as a producer. And finally, CM Punk has debunked rumours of unhappiness in AEW. Alongside the report discussed earlier with there said to be backstage heat between Hangman Page and CM Punk, there was also talk of Punk's unhappiness in the company, with some feeling he might be ready to quit. For full context, let's take a quick look at a report from Fightful Select where this unhappiness was first noted, and they said, sources familiar with the situation claim that CM Punk has often verbally expressed his displeasure about things, including recently so blatantly that they thought he might end up quitting the company. Those close to him said he might have almost decided to stay home instead of coming to the August 17 Dynamite, but don't think he would have quit. We haven't been given any indication that he plans on leaving AEW, but one veteran said they have heard of threats being levied. Whilst it's not clear which side of the AEW locker room the rumour came from, with there seemingly being a divide backstage, going by 2 social media posts this week, Punk is doing just fine, with this leak perhaps coming from someone with an agenda against him. Firstly, Punk's friend and sometimes on-screen trios partner Dax Harwood would take to Twitter to mock the rumour of the world champion's unhappiness, posting a photo of the 2 men backstage at an AEW event with a big grin on his face, and Dax would write a sarcastic caption and said, "He gave me the job at Jaw Punch pose, and if you can't tell, he's very unhappy." Secondly, Punk himself would take to Instagram to call his time in AEW the best year of his professional career, this in a post to celebrate his 1-year anniversary with the company, and Punk would write, 1 year ago began the best year of my professional career. Too many great moments, not enough space to post all the great pics. Rekindled passion, my new friends reunited with old ones. Can't stop smiling, won't stop until the wheels come off. Thank you most of all to the fans who made it possible. I'm having the time of my life, as there's a drive into deep left field by Castellanos, and that'll be a home run. And so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game. For those unaware, the closing part of the tweet is a meme within the baseball online community and is a bait and switch way to close a serious statement. It seems by all indications that CM Punk is happy in AEW, and whilst he may have heat with certain individuals backstage, it's clear he has his friends in the locker room and is generally enjoying his time being all elite. Next up for Punk is the biggest match of his AEW career so far, when he puts his AEW World title on the line as he takes on interim world champion Jon Moxley to crown the undisputed champion. The match goes down this Wednesday on Dynamite, with the finish of the match likely setting up the main event for the All Out pay-per-view next month, whether that be via an indecisive finish or perhaps the return of a certain MJF. And before you go, make sure you check out the truth behind CM Punk's secret wrestling returns before AEW.